How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at a hypercar which I personally feel as though has not necessarily received the credit that it quite deserves. I know a decent amount of people know about this. I mean, I knew about this kind of beforehand. I knew about this brand beforehand, but I feel like it's not really like super mainstream like your Bugatti, your Koenigsegg, your stuff like that. Now, I guess you should probably look at this as a hypercar. I'm sure there's some people that maybe not, or maybe like won't put it in that class and may look at it as like a really high-end supercar, but I don't know. In my personal opinion, it's 100% without a doubt a hypercar, and we're going to be taking a closer look at it today after I actually discovered it in an article by Haggerty. So we're going to be looking at an article by Haggerty today, which again, that's where I kind of first saw this new model in, and then we're going to actually be going on the manufacturer's site. But before any of that, definitely be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and if you've already been subscribed, click that bell icon down below. That turns on post notifications and gets you notified every time that I do post a new video. All that stuff really does help me out a ton as a smaller car channel on YouTube. I post new content literally daily. I'm also starting to do shorts. Let me know down in the comments below if you've been subscribed to me, if you like the shorts. If you don't like them, then I'll kind of lay off them or not do them as much, but I really like to hear your guys' opinions. But without wasting any more time today, again, we're going to be looking at this Haggerty article first, and it actually talks about more specifically the car's engine and its actual like relationship with Ford and actually Shelby in the past. And by the way, the car is the DeTomaso P72. I've known about the DeTomaso brand for a while now. I don't know specifically where I remember hearing or seeing them initially, but the P72 is like a new model that they're only making 72 units of, hence the 72 and P72, and it's a wild new car. So again, without further ado, we're going to be taking a look at it now. So the first thing that caught my eye was just the picture of it. I mean, to me, that screams hypercar. I love the design as well. It looks like a kind of like long tail design or boat tail. I forgot what they technically call those, but I really like kind of like the flat back and how it just kind of carries over it. Almost looks a little bit like the McLaren Speedtail, I think it's called. But the DeTomaso P72 is powered by a supercharged Roush V8 with over 700 horsepower. So that kind of caught my attention as well, because as someone who is a fan of Pagani's, I know that Pagani's have Ford engines, and I'm almost certain that I think Koenigsegg has, or maybe it's Koenigsegg that have the Ford engines and then Pagani's have like a VW engine or something. But yeah, hypercars kind of get their engines from like regular auto manufacturers. Now, I don't know if that's really the same when it comes to Bugatti, because I'm pretty sure Bugatti does like everything in-house. Now, yes, they're owned by VW, but Bugatti's a little bit special in that sense, at least. But going through this article, it talks about the history that DeTomaso as a brand has with Ford, the history that they have with Shelby specifically, and then now how that history is kind of carrying over, and they're using a new Roush 5-liter Coyote V8 that's making that 700 plus horsepower that's going to be in the P72. Now, this is going to be supercharged. There's no way that they could put over 700 horsepower out of a naturally aspirated Coyote, at least I don't think. But I do find it pretty ironic that a car that costs this much and looks as stunning as it does literally just runs off a Mustang engine when you like kind of break it down. And I guess if you really wanted to simplify it, you could. And then here are a few sketches of it. Here's just like the gear shifter right there, but in the back, like there you can see the Coyote. Very distinctive head design with the Coyotes, very wide engines, pretty big. But moving on to DeTomaso's actual site, when you first kind of like load on, you go into the P71 or P72, excuse me, when it asks you what model, and then you go into Discover. So a celebration of 60 years. So I'm assuming that DeTomaso's been around for 60 years, and it's not like the model has or anything. But going into the P72 story, so it's influenced by the old 1960 DeTomaso race cars back in the day, as well as a concept that was like originally thought up of back then, which I think is pretty cool. And then if you look at the design too, like, I don't know, it's kind of jumping around here, but just looking through, I guess, some of these pictures, it looks like it's such a wild car. And I just don't understand why DeTomaso as a brand isn't as mainstream as your Paganis, your Koenigsegg's, your Bugattis, you know, stuff like that. So that's the main reason why I kind of wanted to make this video today, because it's not necessarily, it's definitely not a review. Obviously, I wouldn't consider anything to be a review if I'm not actually driving it. But like, it's not an automotive news video. It's nothing like that. I feel like I should just shed more light on DeTomaso as a brand, because they do have an incredible history, and obviously I'm not really doing them justice with this short little YouTube video. But this new P72, I think it's just, it's a phenomenal car. And like, looking at the front, like even this picture, it just looks so damn aggressive, but also classy at the same time. Like, there's some cars out there, kind of like the Lamborghini Scion or Sion, I think. Sorry if I mispronounce it, but that Lamborghini, the Sesto Elemento, and then even like the new Bugatti Chiron, it's like they look super aggressive, but I don't know if, I mean, I guess calling a Bugatti not classy is pretty stupid, so I'm not even going to say that. But I just feel like this car looks a lot more timeless. It looks old and new at the same time, and I am here for it. I love the whole modern retro design when it comes to normal cars, like the new Nissan Z, the S197 Mustang when they originally came out with that in 2005. I really like the idea of kind of just recycle, not necessarily recycling, but paying homage to, you know, previous generations and, you know, previous cars from back in the day. Because not for nothing, a lot of old cars out there, whether they're, you know, really high-end cars or just regular everyday drivers, I'm sure a lot of you agree, but like a lot of old cars, they're just awesome. Like, the designs are just so much better than some of these newer vehicles that manufacturers are just coming out with. And I'm trying not to make that like a biased statement. There's plenty of new vehicles out there that have a fantastic design, but I really like what DeTomaso is doing. I think that they're an awesome brand. Again, I'm not really necessarily doing them justice right here, but I highly suggest you look into them, do more research. Obviously, only a fraction of people in the world are going to be able to afford their cars. But if you're in that sort of category, I would definitely say just check them out, do more research, or even if you're just a regular car enthusiast, check out DeTomaso. I feel like, again, they get way too little attention than what they rightfully deserve. But anyways, that's pretty much just going to be it for today's video. I know it was completely different than what I normally do, or like the normal format of my videos, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments below of DeTomaso as a brand, as well as this new P72 that they're coming out with. But while you're down there, again, definitely be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and click that bell icon down below to get notified for more automotive content here on YouTube. But like always, thank you guys so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time and sticking to the end of today's video. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed today's video, click on either of these links right here to watch a similar video from this channel, or click on the little circle link right there to actually subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. I do appreciate all the support, but thank you for sticking to the end of this video, and I hope you have a fantastic day.